Okay, I'm inside Mammoth Cave, past the three-way already. This cave is wet, so that's why I came here in the summer. It's open year-round, but that doesn't make it practical or easy to go in the winter. Anyway, the entrance is tight, but other than that, if I remember, the cave's mostly easy. So far, except for the entrance, I've been walking, so that's cool. Wow. I just have regular shoes on. I don't have like wading boots. So if it gets too slippery, I might have to chicken out. So. Wow. It's such an easy cave though. It's just flat, level, super flat and level. Well, this is weird. This is a pile of animal poo. You know, we're a long way from the entrance. Looks like a little bit bigger than rat poo. Maybe a really big rat, I don't know. Notice how wide it is here and how the floor is uneven from mud. Okay, there's a pile of breakdown rock here. I'm not sure how easy it's going to get past. Look here, though. Plant roots coming down from above. Interesting. All right, let's see if I can get through here without hurting my knees too badly. You know what? I don't feel like crawling. I'm not going to go back there. Let's try the other side. If I have to, I'll quit here. I'm not here to destroy my knees. Yeah, I think this might be the dead end anyway. Unless there's a way over the top. Let me double check, see if there's a way over the top. It's only like my second or third time to this cave, so I don't remember how far it goes. All right, we'll call that the end. The end. Now, this end of the tube. Obviously the tube has another end. And then the entrance is on a side passage. So I'll finish off this tube. Then I'll go back side passage where I came from. Sounds simple enough, as long as I don't get lost. There, just making sure my flashlight stays cool. Notice there's actually a puddle of water on the floor. So yeah, definitely some moisture in here. But judging by all the water on the floor, I'm curious to come back in the winter and see just how muddy it really is. I think the first time I came here was in the winter because it's open all year round. It's really close to the road, so it's easy to get to. All right, I came from the left. I'm gonna keep going right. Go counterclockwise. See, the tricky part about caving, so is this an intersection, a branch, or is this where it gets wider and narrower? The answer is it just gets wider and narrower. This is where the roof fell down right in the middle. So it's effectively a pillar now. In fact, not only is this breakdown rock here, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that is literally a pillar here in the middle. Cool. Notice the color of the rock here. Like the bare rock is brown. It's got sort of a greenish color below, then more of a silver color on top. Fascinating. Notice how the floor is a little bit deeper on the right. Now it's got some mud on it, but it's the actual rock that is shaped like that too. So it's not, yeah. Man, look how shiny that green is over there. Hopefully my camera's doing it justice. I think I'm technically shooting a high dynamic range, but I don't have a high dynamic range monitor, so I kind of plead ignorance. It's like when I got my first GoPro. I shot 4K resolution for a year before I had a 4K monitor. So when I finally bought a 4K monitor, it's like, oh wow, now I can watch my videos for real. Okay, so here's the puddle. That's the way out to the left. But I just got here. So, man, look at the color here. And look at the ceiling here. Wow. Wish I could hold the camera more still. It seems to be drifting when I hold it, even if I use both hands to hold it still. Man, this ceiling is pretty. Wow. Jeez, look how deep. See, the floor here is not flat. It's got all these little holes, like where water was flooded or flowing through. What the heck? Shinazowi? Whatever that means. Man, look at the ceiling. So pretty. It's like got green and purple. It's like a bag of Skittles exploded in here or something. All right. Wow. Of course, there's some breakdown here. It's funny. Sometimes in a cave, the breakdown is the most colorful because it's got this red instead of gray. But in this case, it's like the breakdown is the least colorful because the bare rock has all this hydrophobic bacteria. Which brings up this question, why hasn't the hydrophobic bacteria formed on the other? I need to use my extension pole. I got a couple extension poles that I can reach up a couple of feet. This would be a good place to use that so you can see the formations closer. Wow. Wow. Nice breakdown pile right in my way. Guess I'll go around. Yeah, so many different colors on the ceiling here. And the ceiling's at least 10 feet tall here, so I got tons of room. Oh, wow, look at this. Let me see if I can show you here. Just a little bit pretty in here. It's just like Golden Dome Cave. Actually, Golden Dome Cave is interesting because it's got like this same green hydrophobic bacteria, but I think the rock is darker, like a dark brown. So it comes out looking very different, even though it's very similar. Hardly any footprints in here. Not too many people come here. I don't see why not. It's not that. Well, yeah, I know why. It's a secret. Anyway, it's probably important to keep a secret because there's frogs in this cave. I want to protect the pretty frogs. But look how deep some of these holes are. These holes, remember, are from water dripping down from the ceiling, making little impact craters in the, what's it called? Sand. What's weird, look at this over here on the left. It's like water flowing. So when it's like really wet, water actually makes a little creek in here. I'd like to see that sometime. It's a long walk here from my house. Anyway. Wow. Of course, the real question is we're underground. So when it rains outside, how long does it take the water to wiggle through the cracks and get in here? Is it pretty much immediate? An hour, a day? Wow. Ceiling's getting lower. I don't have knee pads on, so I don't want to do any more crawls than I have to. Let's see how far I can get without hurting my knees too badly. Oh yeah, see, I can squat through here and then stand up again. Good, good, good. I'm very lazy, you know. This part's so wide. Cave is dozens of feet wide, even though it's only 10 feet tall or less. Oh, is this another three-way? Make sure I know if this is a dead end or not. Yep, just a dead end. Good. I can't get lost. Yeah. Wow, a big pile of sand. That means a crack in the ceiling. It's falling through. All right. I could be lazy and go around to the left. Yeah. Without knee pads, I'm going to do that. But obviously, I could go up on top of that hill if I want to see what's up there. You could tell, look at the color of the rock. Different colors of rock coming from above. See all the footprints. Other people have been climbing up there. I don't see any natural light though, so we're not talking about like a secret exit. Look at the plant roots though. Oops. Yeah, nice little hill. Nice. All right. Wow. Notice how uneven the floor is here from the water flow, moving the dirt and sand around. I'm going to try not to step on anything, but let's face it, I have to step somewhere. Okay, you know what? Without knee pads, looks like I'm about as far as I'm going to go. But we'll see. Looks, I'm at another pillar. Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to chicken out here. Next time we'll come back with knee pads and some other people and we'll have a good time. I was going to quote the Flintstones, but I didn't want to offend anybody. Anyway, here we go. I'll quote Ray Stevens. We'll have a wee old time. All right. Let me pan up, turn on my light. Okay. Hardly makes a difference. All right. All right, here's 30%, 31%. You know, it's weird that I haven't seen any bats in here, but there aren't really any nooks and crannies for them to hide in. I think the bats like caves where, you know, there's little cracks and so on, where they can kind of stay out of sight of predators. Either that or there are bats in here and they're doing a good job of hiding. I didn't even notice the frogs until they started moving. So if the bats aren't moving, maybe I just went right past them. I do like this cave though. This is such an easy and pretty cave. Seriously, this would be a good cave to take kids because there's no cliffs for them to fall off. Oh, wow, this is nice. Look at that. There's mineral deposit on the ceiling. Small formation. Technically, there's a lot of like thin cave popcorn here. Some of it's whiter than others, though. It's real pretty if you take the time to look. Just like all these little lava stalactites on the ceiling. Very pretty. By lava tube standards. I'm grading on a curve here. I remember like in high school or college, like when the teacher handed out the grading rubric at the beginning of class. First thing all the students wanted to know, do you grade on a curve? Because the idea is that it'd be like easier to pass. Of course, if somebody blows the curve, then grading on a curve might not be good for it. Yeah. It's kind of cool little situation here. Same little formations up there. Oops, hold on, there we go. This is a really pretty cave, but my flashlight's overheating, so I have to be careful. And I'm down to 2 good flashlights. So, cave this big, I really should have 3 flashlights. If my flashlights both die, it's going to be really fun trying to find my way out of this cave without any light. Could happen, but it would take me a while. Yeah. Again, any one color by itself can be pretty. When you get all these different colors together, it really makes you appreciate, wow, that one's pretty, that one's pretty, that one's pretty. They're all pretty. Yeah. What's interesting, there isn't much graffiti in this cave. You'd think being in the middle of nowhere, people would have vandalized it. So, I mean, the only example, look, Shinauis? I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Anyway. It echoes in here. I thought I heard somebody coming, but it was my own echo. There's a bulge in the wall. It doesn't really go anywhere. You know, the good news is I've been trying to avoid stepping on these holes to not ruin them, but I can't. But the thing is, the dirt is firm enough that I'm actually not causing much damage. But yeah, if I owned this and ran it as a tourist cave. Oh, look, I got a red arrow pointing out. Awesome. Anyway, yeah, if I owned this and ran it as a tourist cave, though, I'd probably, I don't know, any improvements would make it look less pretty. So it's like, okay, should I put in a catwalk? Or should I just tell people, okay, stay to one side, or what? Honestly, if I owned this as a tourist cave and I tried to make money off of it, I'd probably do like guided tours only. Like have the short tour to the 3-way, that way you can't get lost. And then the extended tour, they would do the whole cave, something like that. Of course, as a tourist cave, I'd have to improve the entrance. The entrance is tiny. In fact, I think real tourist caves, they have to have more than one entrance. This cave only has one entrance. So, probably not even eligible. By the way, this is on government property, federal property. So, I'm just, obviously, it's not really a tourist cave. There isn't even a sign outside saying you are here. If you manage to find this place, well, then you probably know what you're looking for. Yeah, if you just happen to find it on accident, yeah. I don't even remember how I found it. I think I noticed it in the satellite imagery or something like that. got a big enough entrance that it caught my eye. Okay, so notice the tube gets wider here, and there's a pillar. So that means I can go right or left, and it recombines. I don't know why my gimbal doesn't want to hold still. Huh, I heard something ahead. I'm not sure it's my own echo or more people. Somebody could have seen my vehicle and decided to check out. Why is he parked there? Ooh, good reason. Man, this is such a pretty cave by lava tube standards. It's getting warmer. We're getting closer to the entrance and we're getting closer to the surface. Oh yeah, see? Because there's one frog. Hi, Froggy. Don't mind me, I'm just invading your territory. Yeah, see, there's some light up there. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna shoot video all the way to the end. There's a rock up here I can sit down on. Switch from my horizontal camera, vertical camera. Do a second lap. As long as I'm here, make it worth the trip. Yeah, see, there's a frog over there. Hi, Froggy. How are you? All right. All right. Wow, it's hot over here. Okay, you know what? Now that I have a nice place to sit down, or I'm not gonna hit my eye on the ceiling, I'm gonna declare this the end of my video. This is Mammoth Cave.